On this day in history, October 5th. In 610, Heraclius arrived in Constantinople, the capital of the Byzantine Empire, and overthrew the tyrannical Emperor Phocas. Heraclius had been governor of the province of Africa and launched a revolt against Phocas, who was unpopular for his brutal reign. After capturing Constantinople, Heraclius personally killed Phocas and was crowned emperor. His reign marked the beginning of a revival for the Byzantine Empire, as he implemented military, religious, and administrative reforms that helped strengthen the empire in its struggles against the Persian Empire and later, the Arab invasions. On October 5, 816, Louis the Pious, son of Charlemagne, was crowned Holy Roman Emperor by Pope Stephen IV in Reims, France. Louis had already been co-emperor with his father, but his coronation by the Pope reaffirmed the legitimacy of his rule and symbolized the close relationship between the Carolingian dynasty and the Catholic Church. His reign was marked by efforts to maintain unity within the empire and religious reforms, though his rule was troubled by internal divisions and rebellions by his sons. On October 5, 1607, an assassination attempt was made on Paolo Serpi, a prominent Venetian statesman, scientist, and historian. Serpi was known for his opposition to the papacy's political influence in Venice, and his support for the Venetian Republic's independent policies. He was stabbed by would-be assassins hired by the Roman Catholic Church, but he survived the attack. Serpi continued his work as a scholar and played an influential role in defending Venetian sovereignty against the papacy. On October 5, 1789, during the French Revolution, thousands of Parisian women, along with some men, marched to the Palace of Versailles. Frustrated by food shortages, high prices, and the indifference of the monarchy, the women demanded bread and brought their grievances directly to King Louis XVI. The marchers forced the king and his family to return to Paris, effectively ending the monarchy's absolute authority and bringing royal power under the influence of the revolutionaries in the capital. This event was pivotal in shifting the course of the French Revolution. On October 5, 1869, the Eastman Tunnel in Minnesota collapsed during construction, causing a massive landslide that nearly destroyed St. Anthony Falls on the Mississippi River. The tunnel was being built to divert water to power mills, but the collapse disrupted the area's water supply and led to years of repair efforts to stabilize the falls. The disaster also marked a significant setback in industrial development in the region, though St. Anthony Falls was eventually saved and continues to be a key feature of Minneapolis. On October 5, 1877, the Nez Perce War in the northwestern United States came to an end when Chief Joseph and the remaining Nez Perce warriors surrendered to U.S. Army forces led by General Oliver O. Howard. The Nez Perce had been resisting forced relocation to a reservation in Idaho and fought a series of battles while trying to flee to Canada. After a grueling retreat of over 1,000 miles, Chief Joseph famously declared, "I will fight no more forever," as he surrendered. The Nez Perce were ultimately forced onto reservations, and their resistance became symbolic of Native American struggles during westward expansion. On October 5, 1900, a peace congress in Paris condemned British actions in the Second Boer War, 1899–1902, in South Africa. The Congress, organized by international pacifists and critics of imperialism, denounced the British government's conduct in the war and expressed support for the Boer Republic's right to self-determination. This event reflected growing international criticism of British colonial policy, especially regarding the war's brutal tactics, such as the use of concentration camps and the scorched earth policy. On October 5, 1905, the Wright brothers achieved a major breakthrough in aviation history when they piloted the Wright Flyer 3 over a distance of 24 miles, 39 kilometers, in 39 minutes near Dayton, Ohio. This flight demonstrated the plane's improved stability and control, making it the first truly practical airplane. The flight marked a critical moment in the development of aviation, solidifying the Wright brothers' place in history as pioneers of powered flight. On October 5, 1914, during World War I, an aircraft successfully shot down another aircraft for the first time in history. A French Voisin biplane, piloted by Sergeant Joseph Franz and Corporal Louis Quenault, used a mounted machine gun to shoot down a German aviatik Bi. This event marked the beginning of aerial combat, transforming airplanes from reconnaissance tools to weapons of war, leading to the development of fighter planes and air warfare tactics. On October 5, 1921, the World Series was broadcast on radio for the first time. The game was between the New York Giants and the New York Yankees. Sports announcer Grantland Rice called the game, allowing fans across the country to follow the action in real time. This event was a significant moment in the history of sports broadcasting and helped baseball become America's national pastime. On October 5, 1931, Clyde Edward Pangborn and Hugh Herndon Jr. completed the first non-stop flight across the Pacific Ocean in their plane Miss Vidal. They flew from Japan to Washington State in the U.S., covering approximately 5,500 miles in 41 hours. The flight was a daring feat of aviation and pushed the boundaries of long-distance flight, demonstrating the potential for transoceanic air travel. On October 5, 1945, a 6-month strike by Hollywood set decorators escalated into a violent riot at the gates of the Warner Brothers studio in Burbank, California. The strike was part of a broader labor dispute in the entertainment industry, where workers sought better wages and working conditions. The confrontation involved thousands of strikers, police, and strikebreakers, resulting in injuries on both sides. This event highlighted the growing tensions between Hollywood studios and labor unions in the post-war era. On October 5, 1947, President Harry S. Truman delivered the first televised Oval Office address. In his speech, Truman discussed the need for Americans to conserve food in response to post-World War II shortages in Europe. The broadcast marked a turning point in U.S. presidential communication, as television became an increasingly important medium for reaching the public. On October 5, 1962, Dr. No, the first film in the James Bond series, was released in Britain. Based on the novels by Ian Fleming, the film starred Sean Connery as the British secret agent James Bond. Dr. No was a commercial success and introduced the world to a franchise that would become one of the most enduring and popular in film history, shaping the action espionage genre. On October 5, 1966, a partial meltdown occurred at the Enrico Fermi nuclear generating station near Detroit, Michigan. The reactor, Fermi 1, suffered a blockage in its cooling system, which led to significant damage to the reactor core. Though no radiation was released and no one was injured, the incident raised concerns about the safety of nuclear power and contributed to debates over the use of nuclear energy in the United States. On October 5, 1970, the Public Broadcasting Service, PBS, was officially founded in the United States. PBS became the nation's primary public television broadcaster, known for educational, cultural, and informative programming. PBS is home to iconic shows such as Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and Nova, and has played a crucial role in American public media. On October 5, 1970, members of the Front de Libération du Québec, FLQ, kidnapped James Cross, the British Trade Commissioner, in Montreal, Canada. The kidnapping triggered the October Crisis, a period of extreme tension in Quebec as the FLQ sought independence from Canada. The crisis led to the invocation of the War Measures Act by Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, granting the government emergency powers to deal with the FLQ. Cross was eventually released, but the crisis exposed deep divisions within Canada. On October 5, 1982, Tylenol products were recalled after bottles of the pain reliever laced with cyanide caused the deaths of 7 people in the Chicago area. The Tylenol murders sparked widespread fear and led to sweeping changes in the packaging of over-the-counter medications, including tamper-evident seals. The case remains unsolved, but it had a profound impact on consumer safety laws in the United States. On October 5, 1984, Marc Garneau became the first Canadian astronaut to fly in space aboard NASA's Space Shuttle Challenger, STS-41G. Garneau's mission was a milestone for Canada's space program and inspired future generations of Canadian scientists and engineers to pursue careers in space exploration. On October 5, 1986, Mordecai Vanunu, a former Israeli nuclear technician, provided detailed information to the Sunday Times about Israel's secret nuclear weapons program. Vanunu's revelations confirmed long-suspected reports that Israel had developed nuclear weapons. He was later abducted by Israeli intelligence agents, tried in secret, and imprisoned for 18 years. The story remains a key moment in the debate over nuclear proliferation in the Middle East. On October 5, 1990, the last issue of the Herald, a prominent Melbourne newspaper, was published. After 150 years of publication, the paper merged with its afternoon competitor, The Sun, to form the Herald Sun, which continues to be a major newspaper in Australia. On October 5, 1994, Swiss police discovered the bodies of 48 members of the Order of the Solar Temple, a doomsday cult, in what was a mass murder-suicide. The deaths occurred in Switzerland and Canada, and were part of the cult's apocalyptic beliefs. The gruesome discovery shocked the world and drew attention to the dangers of cults and extremist religious movements. On October 5, 2000, massive demonstrations in Belgrade, Serbia, forced the resignation of Slobodan Milosevic, the long-serving president of Yugoslavia. After contested elections, protesters stormed government buildings, demanding that Milosevic step down. His resignation marked the end of an era of authoritarian rule in Serbia, and paved the way for democratic reforms in the country. Hey everyone! If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel, and lets us know you're enjoying the content. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss an upload. And if you know someone who might find this video useful, share it with them. Sharing is caring, and it helps us grow this amazing community. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.